how's it going, everybody? Uh, I am trying something new tonight that I've never tried to do before. So please, if at any point in time uh, there starts being any technical difficulties, just let me know in the chat because this is, like I said, this is all new. If it works, it should be kind of cool. And there is a delay of about 22 seconds between, like, I say this right now, you're not going to hear it or see it for 22 seconds. So it's kind of a challenge to monitor what I'm doing here. All right, so let's see. We got Butterfly Effect, Jersey, Rick. Hi, Rick. All right, so just like the title says, I thought it'd be kind of fun that we could talk about some guitar players that we feel are underrated. So what I've done is I've compiled a list, and I've just got 5, and then 5 honorable mentions. 5 that we're going to like kind of look at some stuff from, and then 5 that are just kind of honorable mentions. And I'll explain more when we get there why I went the way I did. So anyhow, this list is not in any kind of an order necessarily. I couldn't like really pick who I thought was, number 1 versus number 5 or whatever. So this is not in any sort of order, but these are like the top 5 that I feel are underrated. So Joey Tafoya, I would have to agree with you on that one. Yeah, so let's do this. I'm going to go over my list, and then once you guys start compiling your own of top 5, and we'll see if there's maybe some that I missed that you feel should have been there. And then also, if you like what I'm doing and stuff, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, all that jazz. And there is a link in the description where you can download this really dope chord chart. It's just on one sheet. It's PDF. It just has every chord you could ever need at a glance. It's really useful, and it's free download. There's a link in the description. See, I got to have this little headphone thing to monitor it. What a pain in the butt. All right. So, oh yeah, see, that's a guy that Trucker the Tourist. Yeah, it's like there's a lot of guys I'm sure I missed. Can't think of everybody, but these are just kind of the people that are always kind of on my radar for being, that I feel they're kind of underrated. All right, so like I said, not in any sort of order whatsoever, but the first one I want to mention is Lindsey Buckingham from Fleetwood Mac. I've talked about him before and stuff, like it's no secret that I feel that he's like super underrated. And what's kind of neat about him is that he just has such a unique style and technique and stuff. He didn't like take lessons and stuff like that. He's like self-taught, and he's like self-taught like he has his own kind of thing. And so the one that I chose for this, it's this live performance. And it's not even like his best performance or whatever, but just kind of his reactions in this is like really funny. So let me see here. Where is it? All right, so hopefully this is going to work. So what I'm going to do is this is going to pop up, and it's going to bring him up on the screen, and I'll still be on the screen, and you should be able to hear him playing and stuff. So if there's any kind of an issue or whatever, just let me know in the chat, please. See that right there? He's like, he knows how ridiculously difficult this is to play. And he's not even playing it right here exactly the way he does on the record. But this is like really difficult to play. So yeah. Oh, seriously, there was no sound? So there was no audio on the video, on the guitar playing video. Oh, for crying out loud. Well, that is a bummer because I tested it earlier and everything was working. Yeah, it is very, banjo style. This really is a bummer. I don't know why the audio isn't working. Let's see if there's some real here that I... Hello, Crit. Okay, I'm going to try it again and tell me if there's audio this time or not. So just let me know if there's any audio this time. Shoot. Well, that is such a bummer. I do not understand why it isn't working. It was earlier. Yeah, that is such a drag. I just don't know. It's so aggravating. Well, I don't know what to do. It was working earlier. I don't understand why. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, the audio is working now. Oh, okay. Cool. Not exactly sure why that did that. Okay. All right, so let's try this again. So, Lindsey Buckingham, and reason I chose this particular one is like his reaction is really funny when the guy asks him to play this song.
What is it you want me to do?
Never going back again. It's just the perfect
Some
way
of it?
As much as you feel comfortable with, of course.
Jeez.
Of course, a minute.
So like I said, this version of it, it's not quite the same as it is on the album, but it's still like super difficult to play. And I would try to play it like right now, but I can't play it worth a crap. It's like really difficult. So yeah, so hopefully that worked. Who played slide for Jackson Browne? I don't know. All right, cool. So it looks like everything's working right now. That's really bizarre. I have no idea why anything would have been different. Yeah, so I always felt that Lindsey Buckingham was really, really underrated. You hear, small circles of people talking about him and stuff, but it's not like a household name like somebody, like Eric Clapton or something like that. Not trying to compare the two. I'm just saying that, he's, more of a well-known player. All right, so yeah, do you guys agree? You think Lindsey Buckingham deserves to be on the underrated guitarist list, or at least my underrated guitarist list? What do you fall on your underrated guitarist list? I guess is the question. All right, so the next guy I want to look at, and again, none of this was in any sort of. Oh crap! I just thought of something. That all of the things aren't going to work. Oh, I'm going to have to go through and change that setting on every one of these things. Okay, so this is going to be a little janky. I'm going to have to start each one of these, change that setting, and then start it over again. So I apologize, but this is a work in progress. You guys are here on the ground floor of this. All right, so anyhow, the next guy that I want to look at, who I think is an underrated guitar player, is Prince. Okay, so I believe that I got that one fixed now too. All right, so Prince. So this is one that I'm sure there's a lot of people who are going to disagree with me on this maybe. And it's not like he's like some, virtuoso technical player, but the guy was amazing as far as, he could play everything, like a million different instruments. He wrote all the music, and he could sing. But this guitar playing on this piece here is just really, really nice, I think. And he's just got such a voice on the guitar. See, he's got such nice vibrato. He just makes it sing. Oh, you didn't care for his singing? Yeah, I liked a lot of stuff. He got really popular when I was in high school, and I just always kind of liked. He has a big catalog, and can't like everything, I guess, but a lot of it's pretty awesome. See, he's just playing with such authority right here, and it's like any instrument he gets in his hand, he plays like this, and I just think he was a great musician. Oh yeah, Crit, I saw that. I wanted to try to use that in this, but I was having some issue being able to use that video. Yeah, see, he's just got great feel, I think. So that was my second pick. Again, not in any sort of an order or whatever. I just think he's a great player. Yeah, well, see, I guess when you get into the real core of like like all the pro players and stuff, a lot of these guys that I'm mentioning on this list, they would probably agree that they think are great players. Like one in particular that we're going to be looking at. Oh, that's awesome! I never got to see him live. That'd have been super cool. But yeah, I really dig him too. So another guy that and this is one that's always kind of puzzled me, because he's was such an incredible player, and it was funny, as I've read a lot of interviews and things with him where he played on a lot of records in the like in the late 60s and 70s and stuff, and he didn't want to be credited. He just basically wanted the paycheck, and he was just a great musician, and then he was also an actor. A lot of the younger people may not even really know him as a guitarist, and more as an actor. But it is Jerry Reed. So again, I'm going to have to adjust that volume thing. So apologize in advance. Okay, I think I got it fixed. All right, so again, Jerry Reed. I'm not like a huge country music fan, but I like the old timer kind of country and stuff, and a lot of the guitar playing on this stuff is amazing. He is just absolutely like amazing good. So let's check that one out. Now I lost it. There we go. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, that guy sitting next to him there is Chet Atkins. That Chet Atkins is one of the best guitar players of all time. But you see, look how relaxed he is playing that. Yeah, he's just amazing. I love playing like that too. That style of playing, is playing with his fingers, but he's actually using finger picks and stuff, and I don't know how anybody can do that. But yeah, I really think Jerry Reed's awesome. Now, that guy that was sitting there next to him, Chet Atkins, when I was a kid and was first learning how to play guitar, I wanted to learn how to play guitar because I saw Kiss on TV. And my dad, he used to put on, my parents would play music in the house. And one of the things that my dad would put on a lot was he had a whole bunch of Chet Atkins records, and I have them now. He gave them to me. And he'd put it on and say, oh, check out this guitar playing. And it just completely went over my head. I didn't even get it, so I just didn't understand the awesomeness of him. But anyway, in that clip we just watched of Jerry Reed, oh my God, just brain farted. Chet Atkins also does a little solo. So I'm going to show you that too. I don't consider him to be an underrated guitar player. Anybody that don't rate him high probably just doesn't know who he is, would be my guess. But anyway, I'm not sure what year this was recorded, but this looks like it was in the maybe in the 60s. And Chet Atkins does something in this video that's absolutely amazing, especially for the time. Let's see. Yes, that is right. He just did sweeping arpeggios. So yeah, Chet Atkins doing sweeping arpeggios like way back then. So a lot of the younger guys think that that's a new thing. And no sound. Oh, seriously? Oh, I know why. Gosh dang it, because I'm... Okay, let's try that again. Man, I'm sorry. I know what the problem is, and unfortunately, I can't go in and change it without pulling it up on the screen, but going forward, it shouldn't be an issue because now I know what to do. And I've had plenty of practice. Okay, so once again, Chet Atkins.
Do it.
Now, I'll be honest here, too. I love Chet Atkins. But I think Jerry Reed's solo in this was better. Not like, you know, technically, I just liked it better. But this whole sweeping arpeggios thing. Yeah, that's super dope.
You win, son.
All right. So yeah. So again, Chet Atkins isn't on the list. When I saw that thing with the sweep picking, I just thought that was pretty cool. And thought I'd show you. So yeah, so far on my list, Lindsey Buckingham, Prince, and Jerry Reed. So anybody, you know, like I said, I want you to make your own list that we can look at those when we get through mine. All right, so the next one that I want to show you, this guy is actually kind of now starting to become more known. He's like kind of really breaking out, and I need to practice a lot more. Yeah, don't we all, Crit? Yeah, some of the stuff, it's, you know, you watch it for inspiration, and then sometimes you watch it and it's like, you know, I've seen some guys, it just makes me want to put all my guitars in a pile and start them on fire. But yeah, so this guy, I've actually got two samples from him. This guy's name is Will Swan, and he plays in a band called Dance Gavin Dance. Now, I think that part of the reason why there's probably not a lot of recognition for this guy is because a lot of the band's music isn't going to be everyone's cup of tea. There's a guy that just does that screaming, singing thing. It's kind of proggy music, but this guitar player is absolutely amazing, and he has such a unique style. It's it's fun to watch him. It's just I don't even know how he would have ever came up with this stuff. Anyhow, like I said, the guy's name is Will Swan, and I'm gonna have to fix that too. So the audio. So just a second. Okay, so yeah, so again, Will Swan. So this is just him doing a playthrough of this song, this Dance Gavin Dance song. Can't remember what the name of the Giant Tortoise. Don't let this moment go to waste. You don't know when to feel it. Get out of my game. Touch me, tell me I'm offended. Tell me that I look just like a man. I mean, look what Alway's doing here. This is all just to create the background music for somebody to sing over. So that guy is just amazing, I think. And this other one here we're going to look at, the song's called "Son of Robot," and again, he's just an amazing player. And in their music, you hear this stuff that you would think was like keyboards and synthesizer and stuff, and it's guitar lines. This guy's like really, he's like super dope, I think. All right, so again, it's Will Swan from Dance Gavin Dance, and the song's called "Son of Robot." Say you don't hate me for nothing. Hate me for falling out of reach. Hate me for something. Never knew that you could be so lonely. This guy writes like all the music and stuff too. This band's really cool because they have a few albums, and their overall sound kind of changes a lot from album to album because he said it just depends on what he's been listening to, like what he's influenced by. But some of these melody lines he does, it's just like who comes up with that? Who thinks of that? And then he's using all these really big, full-voiced extended chords with the overdrive. I don't know, I think this stuff is great. Yeah. Just absolutely awesome player, in my opinion. So what do you guys think? Is any of you guys familiar with him? Have you guys heard him before, or are fans of the band or anything like that? What about Darren Goodman? Yeah, that guitar is super dope looking. Yeah, I have a son, a 19-year-old son, that he introduces me to a lot of these newer bands that I may never have heard otherwise, and he showed these guys to me a couple of years ago, and I just loved them. I loved the guitar on it. So you guys have heard me before talk about the Polyphia, those dudes from Polyphia, and they're amazing players, and I didn't put them on here because they're not underrated. Everybody knows who they are now. They really blow up, but this guy kind of reminds me of them, that same kind of just really utilizing the whole fingerboard and everything. I think it's pretty awesome. Yeah, he burns up the neck for sure. It's awesome. I love him. Yeah, so anyway, that's 4 of the the guys that I wanted to talk about. And the last one that I have, this is one of my all-time favorite guitar players. I really, really, really like this guy. And unfortunately, I wasn't really able to get any footage, like live footage of him, like what I would have liked to have gotten. Most everything that I found was all like shot with cell phones, and a lot of it was really, really bad. And then this one particular thing I wanted to show you. I mean, I could make a 5-hour long video just talking about this guy, but the one thing that I really wanted to show you was this one guitar solo in particular, because it really moves me. This is just like, I think, brilliant playing, and that's the way this solo is put together. It's like he can find notes that aren't on my guitar for some reason. You know, I mean, it's absolutely amazing. So anyhow, this is going to have to be just the audio from like the album audio, because I did find a live version of this song, but he didn't do the solo same live. It was cool, but this particular thing I just wanted to show you, just to kind of share with you how I think this is really, really awesome. So I got to fix the audio on this, I'm sure. Okay, so who I'm talking about here is Ty Tabor, and the band is called King's X. So a lot of you have probably heard of them, of King's X. And they've been around for a long time. But I just like I said, I just really love this guy's playing. I got the opportunity to open up for King's X. I don't know, it's been 10, 12 years ago probably. And it was really neat when I got to the venue. I could hear them in there. They were like doing their sound check. And so I go in, the band that they were touring with, or was touring with them rather, was this band from Trinidad called Orange Sky, which, really good band. You should look them up, check them out. They kind of blended metal and reggae together. They were really cool. Anyway, they were really cool guys, and they were helping me unload my gear and stuff. And I was asking them about King's X, about the guys and everything, because they've been touring with them. And he goes, well, come on in, you can meet him. And anyhow, I got all super fangirl about it, about meeting Ty Tabor. And anyway, I stood there, and they got done with their song, and then this guy from Orange Sky goes, hey, Ty, he says, you come over here and say hello to this guy before he wets himself. And he's on the stage, and I'm on the ground, and he says hello, and then I start you know, going all fanboy on him, and told him about, you know, how amazing I think he is, and it's such an influence on me, all that. And the guy was like super humble, and he went like this and pointed at himself and then looked over his shoulders, and he was just a really cool, just awesome, down to earth guy. And then I met him like a year or two later at the NAMM show, and yeah, just really cool guy, really, really great guitar player. All right. Oh, we got some King's X fans in here. Awesome. Awesome. All right, so there we go. All right, so this is a song called Flies and Blue Skies. And it's going to go into solo here. And his tone. I like this. That one note, that is so cool. So great. Ooh. When this stops happening, I'll stop listening. He's got such good tone. Yeah, I think that dude is super dope. So for any of you that don't know about King's X, they're just a 3-piece, and the bass player does like the majority of the singing, and the guitar player does some of the, I'm talking lead vocals. They do these really awesome 3-part harmonies, and the bass player plays. He plays left-handed, and a lot of their stuff, they do a lot of stuff in like different tunings and stuff, and he has a bass. It's a 12-string bass, and it's just, I don't know, it's awesome. They're such a good band, and that guy is just so underrated. I mean, amongst like guitar circles, but I just don't, it's just not a household name, like Eddie Van Halen or something. And I'm not trying to compare the two, I'm just saying the name recognition. But yeah, so those are like my top 5, at least right now. But I do have a list of 5 others that are kind of honorable mentions, and I don't have samples for these, and I'll explain why as we go along. So on this list, and again in no particular order, but I got on here Malcolm Young from AC/DC. So I don't need to put an example on here because I don't think there's anybody here who hasn't heard AC/DC. But maybe you haven't listened to it in the way to be able to kind of really focus on him. Try not to listen to like the lead like guitar things like the soloing and stuff like that, and try to just listen to the more subtle guitar stuff that's in the background. He just did a lot of really, really cool things, really neat chord voicings that were unusual for the genre. Super great player, underrated. David Lindley. He played slide for Jackson Browne. Yeah, see, I didn't know that. Then another guy, and again, this is another one that doesn't need any sort of like example or whatever but is Mike Campbell, lead guitar player for Tom Petty. He didn't do anything that was like super flashy or anything, but the stuff he did just served the song. It really went with it, and a lot of the things he did were almost like a song within a song. And I just think he's super underrated. Is a name that you never hear anybody talk about, but I think he was just an incredible player. See, Alex Lifeson from Rush. Just listen to Rush. When we listen to Rush, a lot of times we're really focused on listening to, Geddy Lee, the bass, and Neil Peart, the drums, and we don't look at the guitar stuff. But he did lots and lots of really, really neat chordal things. And one of my favorite guitar solos of all time is the solo for YYZ. So I think he's a really great player, kind of underrated. Let's see, and Jim Root from Slipknot. So that's one that whenever I said that, everybody, unless they're a Slipknot fan, they're like, kind of, what? Aren't those the weird guys that wear masks and coveralls? And yeah, they're weird, and there's like 40 people in the band and all that. They're an amazing band live. I've seen them live, and they're incredible. But Jim Root is a really, really good guitar player. And he does a lot of legato stuff, which I'm really a big fan of. I love the way that, if you're really good with doing hammer-ons and pull-offs and you can play through like a whole phrase that way, I love the way that sounds. And he is like really, really good at it. It just sounds amazing. And just some of the riff ideas and stuff he has, I just think are really cool. So I think he's kind of an underrated player. All right, and then the 5th guy, and this one here, the only really example, like the one thing that I wanted to show you I couldn't find like a live version of it that that you could even make out what it was, because it was like shot with somebody's cell phone. And on the studio version of this song, what he is doing is so buried in the mix that you can't really hear it. But the guy's an amazing player. The guy's name is AJ Rebolo. I hope that's how you pronounce his name, but he's from a band called Issues, and they had like a popular song called "Tapping Out." And if you pull it up and listen to it during the verses, try to listen to the weird. You can hear like the bass line, and then you can hear this stuff that sounds almost kind of like keyboards. It's kind of this eighth note feel, like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and in the background. Anyhow, it's guitar, and it's like really, really good. If any of you guys watch Nick Nocturnal, guitar player YouTube channel, he did a playthrough of that where he figured it out and he played it, and it's super dope. I thought about getting that to show you, but didn't really want to do it that way. But yeah, so those are my 10 underrated guys who I think are underrated. So who do you guys got that I missed, that you feel like that I missed? Like I said, a lot of this is just subject to opinion, but I can see we've got one that David Lindley. I don't know if I saw anybody put anybody else in there yet. And I can't see very good anyway. I need to go get a new prescription, I think, for my glasses. So yeah, so start putting them in now. If you've got other, who you think. Lennon, as in John Lennon. I think he's a great songwriter and good all-around musician. As far as just like his guitar skills itself, I don't know, I never really thought about it like that. I kind of, with the Beatles, I kind of think of them as just a unit. McCready and Jerry, Mike McCready and Jerry Cantrell. Yeah, both great players. Love them both, especially Jerry Cantrell. I love Alice in Chains. In the 80s, I was always playing in bands that was, kind of the hair metal thing. And then when the 90s rolled around and the whole grunge thing started, a lot of that stuff I didn't like, but there was some really awesome stuff. And Alice in Chains, they're the best band to come out of that genre, in my opinion. Tony Peluso? I've never heard of him. I listen to the Carpenters a lot, but never really thought about it. Joey Ramone? Soundgarden, yeah, I liked Soundgarden too. I liked their earlier material more so than the latter stuff they did. I worked at this restaurant back at that time, and the guy who worked there, he got the Soundgarden album that I've never seen. It's the only one I've ever seen, and it was live. And I think it was like done prior to them getting big or whatever, and it was really good. Yeah, Kim Thale, he's a good player. Tom Kiefer, yeah, I like Tom Kiefer. yeah, so yeah, this was kind of fun to do this. What do you guys think of doing more stuff like this? But you know, I'll just get better at it each time. You know, as far as the technical side of things go. And unless there's some sort of a big, huge technical thing, I will be on tomorrow, and it's going to be, I'm trying something else, something new, and I'm going to work on it during the day tomorrow. But that's what I did with this one, and I thought I had it solved. But I will do that. I should be on here tomorrow, and unless something goes wrong, whatever. Anyhow, so it should be this kind of thing. Oh, Vernon Reed from Living Color, totally agree. That guy, people were saying that he was sloppy and that everything was, you know, he wasn't playing in key. He was just the OG guy playing outside of the key, and he could play all that stuff just like it was on the records live. Great player. Totally forgot about him. Favorite solos. So are you meaning like do something like this, or maybe like I could go, you know, pick like my favorite solos? Because I think that's a great idea. Yeah, I think this was a lot of fun. So if you guys like what I'm doing, hit the thumbs up, you know, leave a comment, all that kind of stuff. Subscribe to the channel, and I recommend you take advantage and get that free chord chart download. It's pretty handy. All right, David, I think that's a great idea. Hopefully, I'll try to write it down here in a minute because my memory sucks, but I think that's an excellent idea for this. Have I heard Steve Martin played banjo? Yes. I was absolutely just knocked off my chair. Didn't expect that. Yeah, okay. Do the favorite solos. I think that's great. Curtis Lowe. See, if I would have been trying to make a list like this 10 years ago, I would have probably had a hard time condensing it down to 5 or 10 or whatever, and now my memory's so crappy I can't remember anything. But yeah, so that kind of like took a long, you know, a big chunk of our time and stuff. Before we hang up here, does anybody have any questions, any guitar questions? Because, you know, this is always like the live Q&A thing. But if not, tomorrow will be good for questions, because what the plan is that I'll be coming on and having another person on here with us, but, you know, remotely. So hopefully that works. And if we can get all that stuff to work the way that it's supposed to, we're going to be doing a lot of things like that in the future. All right. Well, if nobody has any questions or anything, yeah, Jersey, I plan on I plan on being here tomorrow. It's gonna be a different thing if I can get it to work. But if it don't happen, it don't happen. But it'll working this up to trying to get it worked up. We can do this 2 or 3 days a week. Oh, you're welcome, Dave. UK, cool. I'm actually looking at a car that's for sale over there, and I wish there was some way that I could get it and have it shipped over here without, having to, rob a bank to do it. The car is a good price, but it's the import fee. All right, well, get this stupid thing out of my ear. I think that's going to do it then for me tonight. I'd like to thank everybody who came out. I really appreciate it. All the chat and everything. Oh, thank you, Andy. Appreciate it. And like I said, I should be back tomorrow with a guest, if it all works out. If not, have bugs and stuff, then I'm hoping that by next week that we can just kind of have everything going the way it's supposed to. I learned a whole bunch tonight doing this, so I appreciate all your patience and stuff while I'm trying to learn how to to do this stuff. And who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? All right. Well, again, thank you everybody for coming out. I really appreciate it, and hopefully I will see you all tomorrow. And don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, hit the thumbs up, all that stuff, yada yada yada. It lets them know that I'm doing a good job. So I appreciate it, and I hope everybody has a great night. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody.